Good morning. The peace of Christ be with you. It's important to say something like that in this Advent season, as we remember a baby born to die on a cross, a baby whose first experience one of his first experiences was to flee a genocidal king as a refugee. This is our context, and this is the basis of our faith, that he was who he says he is, and therefore we have to do as he does. It's obviously a very serious issue. I'm grateful for IDC and our panelists for sharing the facts and laying out the context and the parameters of what is taking place. I work for an organization that believes God has given us, a gift-giving God has given us some serious gifts. He's made us in his image. He's given us the freedom of conscience or belief. And he's given us Christ, a chance to choose Christ or reject Christ. And so we work worldwide for people of all faiths and none as a function of that belief to contribute to society in all sectors and all spheres, to demonstrate that people of faith, or no faith at all, can contribute to the well-being and flourishing of society and therefore the security and the stability of the state, all because they have an opportunity to protect or to choose, reject, change, share their faith as they wish. Obviously, that is not the case in the Middle East, and particularly in Iraq and Syria, and that is part of the cause of all the problems that we are facing. Toward these ends, over the last 10 plus years, I've been engaging in going to the Middle East on a regular basis. In the last 14 months in particular, our Middle East program, the Cradle Fund, has been to the Middle East 7 times. We've identified and worked with and through 13 partners to help 120,000 plus people in 5 different countries, to help rescue, restore, and return Christians and other ethnic and religious groups to their ISIS-fled homes. And whether one agrees or not with the strategy we have taken of rescue, restore, and return, it is important to have a strategy. You don't hear a lot of talk about strategies. And it's important to have a strategy that transcends paradigms and transcends different approaches, because all the different approaches in their respective silos are broken. You have to blend reconciliation with conflict resolution, with the church, the role of the church, with what do governments do in military strategies and relief and development. It's not any of these, it's all of these together. And so we try to work in a rescue phase to help with the relief issues and help get people through a winter or a second winter as it is, and restore phase to look at issues of trauma and education, and return phase to be bold enough to have a dream that we can and will defeat ISIS and be able to return people to the homes they fled. Now we recognize, especially as Christians, that Christians and other ethnic and religious groups have not suffered the most statistically. Muslims have suffered the most at the hands of ISIS, and we need to be clear about that and understand that. But precisely because ethnic and religious groups are so small, because of a soft drip of genocide over the last century, those groups will soon suffer no more because they will be no more. And that's what we're dealing with here today. And by the way, not only is caring about genocide the right thing to do, it's in everybody's interest to do so. When there is less ethnic and religious minorities in any given culture, when there is less religious freedom, there's less political stability, there's less economic development, there's less women's empowerment. And in the case of Christians in particular, there is less opportunity for Christian majority countries to engage that region and understand that region as it understands itself. So it's in everybody's interest, and it's the right thing to do to protect and preserve Christians and other ethnic religious minorities in the Middle East, and to practice the first part of wisdom, which is to name something properly. Destroy in part or in whole is what is taking place with Christians and other ethnic and religious groups. It's just that simple. So what are we going to do? One, we've got to declare genocide and increase the probability that the Western nations in the world will act to protect these people. But then the next step is, what will they do when they act? Another military strategy without thought for strategy in the aftermath only makes the situation worse, only invites the zombie son of ISIS.